Welcome back, it's Russ and Rayong. Home Remodel Edition, Part 1. So, what are we doing here? Over 5 years we've lived in this house, that one right there behind us. And over 5 years, between sun, rain, and heat, well, it's time to do some painting, some cleaning, and kind of make the house pop again. We like the color of the house when we first painted it, but now we're looking for a change. And that's what we're going to be doing, along with doing some painting. We're going to be doing some tidying up around here, fixing some needed repairs. And I have got my trusted brother-in-law over here to do most of the work by himself. So he's going to be living with us over there in our guest house. So he has a nice place to stay. It's not in our house, which is great for him and for us. And he can work at his leisure as he goes about painting the entire house, cleaning the boards up above, and I'll show you those in just a few minutes, as well as hopefully repainting the fence. We are in the dry season right now, and in the dry season it's a great time to paint because the bricks won't have any moisture in them, so the paint will take very nicely to it. When we painted the fence the first time, that wasn't the case, and we have a lot of peeling. And let me give you an idea of all the projects we're going to have going on over the next 3 to 6 months. Oh, here we go, much better that way. So one of the projects we've got to do is to fix the drop ceiling here in the carport. And so this is going to get repaired over here, get cleaned up. The roof here in the carport has these little black spots on it. Now the black spots are just mud and dirt that is splashed up there. The same thing goes for the dogs and the trim as well. Let's see if I can zoom in on that trim. You can see a little bit of blackness there, and so this is all going to get wiped down and repainted. You can even see that trim there is falling down, so that'll get tacked back up. Over here, there's this splatter in the ceiling from when somebody dropped a paint bucket, and so that'll get patched up as well. These lights will get cleaned up and some new light bulbs put in them because there are a couple of them that are out, and they're too high for me to reach, and I don't feel ever comfortable being on ladders. We do have all of this scaffolding here, and this is going to be used to get to the upper sections of the house. And this is not, and I know it looks brand new scaffolding, but this is 5-year-old scaffolding that we've just repainted to make it look brand new again. This has been over at the resort where we've been using it. This is the current color of the house, which has got this brown trim and almost like a mauve colored accent paint, white trim, and then a manila colored house color. And that's all going to change, and I don't want to spoil what the colors are going to be, so you'll see that in a future video. I also need to fix my gutter up here. As you can see, there's a big hole up there where the pipe used to be. It would come over here, and so that section also is going to be needed replacing. And while we have the scaffolding up everywhere, we're going to get a chance to clean the outside windows all around the house, which will be great because these are very large windows and it's not easy to clean the outside of them. We have our water spigots around the side of the house, and they, as you can see, the paint is coming off on them. Some of them, even the concrete that's around it is cracked, and they're going to get redone as well. All around the house, all the trim will get cleaned. Where we've had, I refer to them as mud bugs. I don't know what they are exactly, but bugs like to make their home in little pockets of mud. And I can see that Nung, my number one guy here, has already been around cleaning it because I'm not seeing very many right now. I don't think anything's going to happen on the stairs. The screens are going to get fixed because one of the hinges over here is broken. So that'll get fixed. All this trim will get repainted. The doors are going to get cleaned. Here's one of the spigots that's broken. You can kind of see right here where the concrete is cracked on it. So that'll get fixed. Like right here, you can see the concrete is broken. Over in the driveway, I have a section of driveway here. Let's see if I can get a good angle in. Here it is. That's cracked. These tiles broke, and it's because the ground underneath has settled in this particular spot, and so they're going to have to take this whole row of tiles out, and then clean it with acid wash, and then putting new tiles down. We've had to do that previously where the concrete sank, and you can see over here where we've had to actually change tiles to something different because that's a 5-year-old tile and this was a 3-year-old tile. Similar color, different pattern, and we're probably going to end up having to do the same thing back there again as well. The yard work is also going to get a lot done. This is a tree that has been trimmed down, I should say a bush that has been trimmed down so that you could walk through here again, and this is what they currently are looking like. So these things are all going to get trimmed back. I don't normally do that because these are my wife's plants and she'll kill me if I ever cut anything back that she doesn't approve of. So she's been home past couple days doing this. And as you can see, she's left all of it for our son to come by and clean up afterwards. Cleaned up all these trees around here that you can actually walk through here again, which is great. This little area out here, it's known as the sala. It's just an outdoor sitting area with lots of plants in it. And this was just yesterday cleaned up pretty good. We have cushions for these couches when we come out here. There's a cooler, beer. So when you come out here, you can hang out and just listen to some music. There's electricity, there's Wi-Fi in here, solar lamps, light the area, and plants all around here. So it's a very nice, shady area all the time. It has Bullivinia plants all along the roof of it that have just been growing and growing and growing to making its own natural roof. Eventually, with all of the plant growth on here and just this plastic tarp thing, it'll end up becoming waterproof just from the plants, where if it's raining, you probably won't get wet while you're in here. It also has lots of referred to as soilless orchids, and that's what these are here. The roots here just collect moisture from the ground, and orchids will grow from them. Not the season for it right now, but we do have a couple of those around here. And when they do bloom, they are really cool. A plant that doesn't need soil or water, it just grows. That's the same thing with the Spanish moss here. It just needs moisture in the air and occasionally you water it, but there is no soil for it. It's kind of a fun plant. The stairs to go to the sala, this side of the house of it, are also going to get repainted because the sun has pretty much stripped these down back to their white again, and that needs to get done. My project for today is to pick food, and this is what I'm referring to if my camera wants to flip over. This is my mulberry plant. These are mulberries. They're very delicious mulberries here. This tree, bush, whatever you want to call it, 2 days ago, I got 3 cups of mulberries from it. I have another one over here that I was able to pick off 6 cups worth of mulberries. And then I started looking online to find out how you make mulberry ice cream. And then I realized I don't have an ice cream maker. And then I was telling the wife about it. She's like, "You're not getting an ice cream maker." Anyway, I do have all these to go pick today. When they're black, they're good. When they're red, don't pick. And then after I pick all of them, and it goes out of season, then I trim this whole thing back like a rose bush, and it grows even more the following year. So this has been growing really good year over year. On a side note, not at all dealing with home improvements, this is what a coconut tree that's arm level, as you can see, grows when they first start coming out. All of those little buds hopefully will make it to full coconuts, and I can pick them without having to look for a ladder, which is great. This tree's been going for 5 years, and this was the first time it's produced the flowers. And if you've ever wondered what coconut flowers look like when they sprout, this is the start of it. They come from that bud right there. They blossom out, and you can see how all those little flowers there, maybe you'll get 2 or 3 coconuts from all those blossom seeds. It's really kind of cool how that goes. We have 3 of these trees of this height, and they're low-hanging coconut trees. And this is the first season that they are producing coconuts. So we're real excited. Over here in my shed, you can see how the ceiling here is really filthy, and that all is going to get cleaned up. And really important, there is a crack from the foundation, and that'll get patched up, and you can see it goes all the way up there, and he'll be able to fix that as well. Here is the old piece of the gutter that goes over here in our water treatment area. Looks like we have a leak somewhere in the pipes, because we have not had any rain in a while, yet I have a lot of water still around here. So I'm going to have to spend some time going through all the pipes to try to find where a drip leak is located, which is going to be more than not fun. But my military training on plumbing will serve me well here in fixing this maze of PVC pipe that you see here. The other thing I was talking about, the paint on the fence, you can see how the paint has peeled right off of the concrete, and that's because this concrete was wet. Or it's not necessarily wet, but it was still moist on the inside when it was painted, and so the moisture caused the paint not to seal properly to the concrete. The two air conditioning units, the compressors, are on the second floor, and we're going to be replacing the one on the right hand side and moving that to the left hand side, and the left hand side one will be just removed. It's not working anymore, and the one on the right works okay, but we don't use the air conditioning on that side of the house that often, so it's okay to put the used one to the other side there. And because of their height and weight of these, you need a couple people to do the work, and that's going to be another project that Nung and my son will be working on. And the last possible thing that'll be done, and I don't believe that will be the last, will be the entrance to our house here, our massive entrance, is to clean up all of that wood and reset the light back inside of it. See there? And if you can see right up there in that white, in that corner, a little bit of white smudge there, those are what I refer to as the mud bugs. They're probably just hornet nests, but they have to be cleaned out as well. So that'll be fixed. Oh, and the sandstone has fallen off over here on the post, so that, you can see the pieces have fallen on the ground down here. This will have to be all fixed as well, because the idiots who put it in the first time, as you can see, did not put enough concrete. You can actually tell that they just put in spots of concrete and not covering it completely. Just being cheap and lazy. One of the biggest projects we're going to have to do, I like getting the dogs in the background. You can see how much they love Daddy. Does that dog love his daddy or what? Anyway, one of the last projects we're going to be doing is replacing the banister up here. The banister, the wood is starting to rot. Not good. Meet the dog while we're at it. So this whole wood banister is going to get replaced with a steel one. Stainless steel, or aluminium, as they say. And one that the dogs won't chew on. The original part of this was that you could close these gates and keep the dogs from being up here. However, every dog knows how to jump that gate. And as you can see, even if we lock them, it doesn't stop them from being up top here. And every dog has their own stair based on seniority. And with 18 dogs on the property, every dog knows their place, and the ones that don't know their place usually get put in their place pretty quickly, or challenged. Like that black and white one up there, Tinga, and Karma here, have not gotten along in 4 years together. And now that Grace is now the new alpha queen, those two now become, what do they say, the expression, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And now these two are friends again. And Karma here, sadly, as you can see how swollen her breasts are here, has breast cancer. But if you've ever seen a more beautiful dog, please send a picture, because this one is as sweet as can be. Look at this face. You can see the cancer is causing her to lose her fur. But she's such a good girl. Just look at that. And she's even missing a tooth. So that's the start of the projects at Russ and Rayong's Home Improvement Part 1. I'll update you every couple days as we're doing things, and you can watch along as my #1 guy, Nung, takes care of all of this stuff for you. And I'll introduce you to him in another video. Stay safe. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share. Let's get monetized from this project. Talk to y'all later.